Alright guys, welcome back to another Zenless Zone 0 update video. Earlier this morning, we got some brand new kit updates for both Astra and Evelyn that came out. So for this video, we'll go over all the new Astra Yao changes, and I will later do a separate video just for the Evelyn kit changes. And if you guys want to keep being updated on everything ZZZ, make sure to like and subscribe, put those notifications on to be updated right away 24/7. But let's get into it, guys. We have a ton of new info to cover, especially regarding Astra Yao's kit. There's a lot to it, so let's do a full breakdown in this video and see if there are any major changes. So I pulled up the kit here, and starting off with the normal attack, there isn't that many changes overall on the normal attacks. It's mostly some name changes and a few tweaks here and there. Starting off with the first normal attack, the singing state is now non-area of elegance. That is the new name, but other than that, it's still the same as we saw before. So I'm going to move on here to the next normal attack, singing state, called interlude. Singing state, it's now called area of elegance. So the same thing here, it's only a name change. Now moving on to the third normal attack, pretty sure it seems like the same exact thing. Chorus singing state went from that to area of elegance. So we can move on here to the normal attack, curtain call, where we have a few more changes in this one. So the final singing state is still called area of elegance. And next up, it says that consume all notes. Now instead of consuming all the notes, once you hold the activation, you will now consume chords, releasing tremolo attacks on enemies, causing either damage for each chord consumed. But this next part here did receive some changes. So core passive effect based on the number of notes consumed. The new effect here is now simultaneously apply core passive effect to yourself and exit area of elegance state. You deal either damage to the enemy and then you exit the singing state. Now we're on to the special skill. So the special skill did receive some more changes as well, which is mostly with the names. So with Moonlight Strike went from tremolo to deal either damage, and then you enter the singing state, and now we saw that the singing state is now called area of elegance. And then if we go down here, Moonlight Strikes went from tremolos, and if enough energy is available during charging up to 3 notes, the notes went from chords. So just a little bit of changes for the terminology here. The notes went to chords, the Moonlight Strike went to tremolo, and the singing state is now called area of elegance. So this is the special skill. There's nothing in the multipliers or anything, just simply name changes. So I can move on to the other part of the special skill. When she is in the singing state, we do have some multipliers that changed here. So again, singing state went from area of elegance. And then we do have some multipliers that did change in this part of her kit. So here the elegant state, increasing the entire team's damage by, before it was 30%, now it's 20%. So the team-wide damage buff is less, now 20%. But it will still increase the entire team's damage crit rate by 30%, which is pretty insane. So now it's 20% team damage with increasing team crit damage by 30%. So this is still really strong. And as usual, the rest did not change. Gains increase interruption resistance, reduces damage taken by 40%, and then you gain invincibility. So the rest of the kit afterwards is pretty much the same. The only thing that changed is going to be the terminology. Other than that, it seems pretty much the exact same as before. So moving on to the next part here, we have the changes to the notes. Well, not the notes anymore, now the chords. So the chord changes when she's in the area of elegance state. So briefly looking at this, I don't notice any multiplier changes. I only notice a little change down here, right in the middle of this whole passive. So all notes are consumed, and Astra Yao loses 20 to 28 to 45 energy points. Now this is not the case here. Now it's when teammates perform quick support or chain attack. All chords are consumed. Depending on the number of chords consumed, Astra Yao energy is then reduced by 28, 36, and 45 points. So she loses more energy, but she then releases an additional 1, 2, and 3 tremolos only when the quick support is triggered by the above methods. So this is pretty much the only thing that really changed in the kit aside from the terminology. And to finish this part of the new updates for Astra, we have the dash attack, Moon Eclipse Melody non-area of elegance state. Tap to activate during dodge, deal either damage. When activated, dragging the joystick can move in the corresponding direction. Alright guys, so we just went over the first half of all the new Astra Yao kit changes. Now next up we're going to cover is the Astra Yao core passive changes, the additional ability changes, and the Mindscape changes, which is a lot more multiplier changes than before. It's not just terminology this time, so we have a lot more to unpack here. So here's the full new core passive. They did a lot of changes. So a song like Bored in area of elegant state, Astra Yao energy recovers increased by 0.5, and then when teammates switch through quick assist or chain attack, increase the attack of Astra Yao and entering characters by 40% of Astra Yao's initial attack plus 60 points, up to a max of 1500 points, which is now nerfed to 1200 points, so she's going to be giving less attack, only 1200 attack now, which is based on the number of cores that you consumed, and the duration accumulates when repeated triggered, and you have a maximum of 30 seconds, each between 10, 20, and 30 seconds. So her core passive did get nerfed. We did saw that 1500 attack to one character on your team is pretty insane, quite a huge attack jump, the highest we've seen in the game, but now it's 1200 points, which is still the highest in the game that we have so far, just a little less, but overall it should still be pretty good, as our top supports right now give about 1000 attack points, and now she's going to be giving 1200 points with all the other stuff that she's doing, giving damage, giving some healing, so it's still going to be a pretty good character, guys. But alright, now let's move on. We have the additional ability to cover. So Moonlight Flurry, when they are attack or an anomaly character on your team in the area of elegant state, when a teammate enters the field for quick assist or chain attack, depending on the number of chords consumed, the incoming character restores 4 to up to 7 energy points, and now it's now nerfed. It's now 1.5, 2, and 2.5 energy points, slightly less energy points for the incoming character, which is nothing too crazy. Now next up we have some changes to the Mindscape 2. Now the Mindscape 2 is basically one of the longest Mindscapes in the game, but it's also pretty crazy, guys, so let's go over it. So I'm only going to go over the parts that changed, so I'm going to ignore the first half here and go to the effects below. So how this Mindscape 2 works is that when she's in the area of elegant state, you can then quick assist. The quick assist characters receive the following effects based on their role. So here we have effects for each role depending on your character type when you do the quick assist with said character. So first off we have the attacker. So the next quick assist heavy hit on an enemy deals additional damage equal to 50% of the outgoing characters, which is now just Astra Yao's attack. Next up we have changes to the stun. The next quick assist done by a stun character increased the day's value dealt by 30%, it's now 50%. Defense character, the next quick assist heavy hit on an enemy restores 1.5 from 1 energy, and pretty much the same thing when a support character does a heavy hit on an enemy, restores 1.5 to 1 energy. Now the next thing to cover are the Mindscape 4 changes. When teammates enter the field for quick assist or chain attack, an additional 1 tremolo and 3 cluster nodes are released with an maximum trigger interval of once every 3 seconds. So that is the new effect for the Mindscape 4, but the rest remains the same. Now the changes for the Mindscape 6, we have only one thing that changed, and it's the increased crit rate that you get from the Mindscape 6. Now it went from 100% to 80%, with crit damage by 25%, but the rest is pretty much the same. The only thing that changed here is the crit rate from 100 to 80%. But yeah, guys, I believe we went over all the new Astra Yao changes that came out today. So if you guys enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for the Evelyn kit change video that should be dropping sometime tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.